What's up, everybody? It's Glenn back with Big Jack here with another best bets of the NFL weekend video. This is for weekend number 4 in the 2023 NFL season. Big Jack, it's good to have you back. You had a great week last week, going 2-1, improving your tough start to the season. You improved your record to 3-6, giving yourself a chance at fighting back to getting back to 500 here soon. I went 1-1 on the week, bringing myself to an even 4-4 on the season. Good week overall from us, but the highlight of the week is the fact that we were both on the Browns, and that was the bet of the century. So that was a great bet by us. We were both on that. Uh, I'm assuming you were partying when you watched that game play out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was a no sweat to say the least. It was always good being on the same side of one that comes in for us. We're 1-0 in that department. Like you said, 2-1 for me last week. Finally got a little bit of positive momentum, so just got to keep stacking those weeks and hopefully eventually start getting things in a better overall position.
Absolutely. With that being said, let's get right into this week's picks. Um, Per usual, I'll go first with my first pick. I'm going to keep it local with my first pick. It's the Bears Broncos game. Two teams that got absolutely shit house blown out. Dicks kicked in last week. Obviously, the Bears getting killed by the Chiefs. The Broncos getting killed by the Dolphins, giving up literally 70 points. Both offenses not looking great. I'm actually going to go the over in this game, and it's really just an indictment on both their defenses. I don't think either of these defenses can do much to stop the other team's offense. I know that both these offenses are struggling, but these defenses are fucking dog shit. Um, I think the Bears, without getting too into it, I think they'll be able to run the ball if they actually commit to running the ball against the Broncos. And I think Russ is actually playing decent quarterback right now. I think he'll have his way passing the ball against the Bears defense, especially with I think Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson are both potentially out. I like over 46.5. If you can find it for 46, obviously do that. But right now I'm seeing 46.5 minus 110, the over in the Bears versus Broncos at noon on Sunday.
Yeah, I got 46.5 on
Yeah.
Rivers as well. So, um, yeah, I feel like you've kind of been a over under guy early this year.
Yeah.
We mentioned it before. You seem to sort of like the number more than I do typically anyway, but I think your points are valid. Both the defenses are horrendous. I saw some goofy stat about Denver gave up 17 in week one, 35 in week two, 70 in week three. So they're on pace to give up 140 this weekend.
Yeah. If the Bears score 140, oh my god.
Mercy.
If the
But
Bears score
yeah,
40, I'll
no,
be partying, let alone 140.
amen. I sneaky like the Bears quite a bit this week. I'm not going to be on them just because I can't do that to myself. But
Three
I
and a
think the
half
Bears
at
win
home.
that game. Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be. I like the Bears to win, which I guess is a so much to say as to your point about the over is that Bears defense isn't stopping anybody. I just sort of expect them to score. So I'm cool. I've got nothing against that over pick. I can get down with that.
Or no.
My first pick, I'm going to turn to a little bit of a probably not much national attention type game. I'm going to take the Houston Texans plus 2.5. It's actually minus 105 right now. So you're getting pretty good value on it, pretty close to even money. Houston just rolled in Jacksonville against what I think will end up being a decent Jacksonville team, similar to last year. They came out the gates struggling and then ripped them all off down the stretch leading into the playoffs. I just think that CJ Stroud's quite a bit better than I expected. I guess it's only been 3 games, so not a big sample. But I just think that offense can move the ball. I think Pittsburgh is solid. They're obviously very well coached. Hard to go against Mike Tomlin. I just that offense is so abysmal right now, and I think that D'Amico Ryan will get his guys playing well enough to keep them in the game. And it's such a tight number for a game that seems like it should be closer to like 5
Yeah,
or
three and a
6
half, four and a
range for
half.
the
Yeah,
Steelers, at least through that key of 3. But it just seems a little tight, and I think Houston kind of rides the momentum. They got no draft picks. They gave them to the Cardinals. They're out there trying to win all year, trying to develop those young guns that they got. I think they're competitive. I like them to keep it to a 2-point game, hopefully.
right on. I like that pick. That's another game I was eyeing. I wasn't quite sure which way to go, but I did feel like you that the spread feels a little closer than I would have expected. I can see Houston pulling the upset and just getting an outright win for sure. All right, my second pick. Once again, I'm kind of just going against a bad defense, is kind of what I'm doing here. I'm going against the Chargers. I'm going to go Raiders +5 at the LA Chargers. The Raiders, they're not a great team, but I don't think the Chargers are either. And I'm going to take the Raiders +5. They've had a tough time running the ball to start the season, but maybe this is the week Josh Jacobs gets it going a little bit more. Um, Garoppolo's had some success getting yards and passing the ball. I'm going to go Raiders +5 at the Chargers. Maybe they don't win, but they'll cover that +5.
Yeah, I hope they do. I do not love that pick.
Okay,
I'm not on the Chargers.
sure.
Um, I just think the Raiders are absolute, shitstorm right
Okay,
now. They got multiple players calling out
they do.
Josh McDaniel. Devontae Adams has got one foot out the door. I don't know. Someone needs to check on Chandler Jones. Something's wrong with that guy. I don't know what his deal is. I guess he's not there, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. But they just seem like they got a lot of issues. Is Jimmy Garoppolo playing?
I think so. And here's my thought on it. Okay, you compare it to the Bears who got the shit going on, but then like DJ Moore's going out there and he's only catching like 2 balls, and like they're not doing anything. Like Devontae Adams went out last year or last week and caught what like 11 or 12 balls. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's bitching, but he's still balling out. And I don't know. I think the Chargers are not a good enough team to be getting -5 against pretty much anybody right now.
Yeah, that logic's fair. I just think that the Raiders seem
Have
like
shit
they're,
going on.
yeah, they're like, one straw away from breaking the camel's back.
I
But
feel you.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not on the Chargers, so
Right.
I'm not like 100% against you by any stretch. I just can't fathom backing a Raiders team that seems to be
You know what,
sort of
Jack? I
all
like
over
to
the
live
place
on the
right now.
edge, man. I like to live on the edge. Put all my eggs in a crazy basket. You know what I mean?
God bless you. This this next pick I'm making is just it's a pretty square pick, I guess. I'm gonna take Jacksonville in London, -3. They go over there every year. They're the one team that goes over there every single year. It seems like even in all those years where Jacksonville sucked for the past decade, they still had success in London. I think they got it kind of down to a science as far as the trip, the prep for that week, and everything that sort of goes into it. Um, I just it's only -3. It's a smaller number. I'd probably like them more if they were like a 5 or 6 point favorite. If it was closer to a touchdown, the small number worries me a little bit, which is why I say probably sort of a square pick. But I think Jacksonville is a lot better than they've played so far this year. I think they are comfortable in London. I like them to go out there and beat up on Atlanta, who has had some success early on, but just got beat down in Detroit. I think Desmond Ritter is not very good. I don't think he's a long term answer there. I think Trevor Lawrence starts moving things in the right direction, and Jacksonville sort of beats him down over in London.
Right on. I tend to steer clear of those international games, and also I don't know if I'd be back in Jacksonville in this spot, but I respect it. I put a future on T Law MVP preseason. Not looking great through 3 weeks, but I still got faith like you that he could right the ship and get things going. I didn't watch the game last week, but from some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube, some people were saying that the Jacksonville receivers have really been letting T Law down through a couple weeks. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I guess like Calvin Ridley dropped a touchdown or two this past week. I don't know if that's true. We'll see if they can right the ship and cover that 3 versus Atlanta. My final pick of the week. It's a team I've been riding kind of hard early season. I picked them in my futures bets to win the Super Bowl. hot take, but I'm going Seahawks -1 at the Giants. So far, the Giants have played one good half through 3 weeks, I believe. Just struggling to really find their bearings early on in the season. Maybe they outperformed what they really are last season, and I think the Seahawks are just a solid team. Obviously, going to Detroit, pulling the upset, small upset, but pulling the upset was big last week. I think they go to New York Giants and cover that 1 point again. Seahawks -1. That's my third pick of the week.
I got nothing against that pick. Like you said, spot on. Giants have literally had one good half, and I guess it was against the Cardinals team who just beat the Cowboys. Was competitive in Week 1 against the Commanders, but yeah, that Giants team just doesn't seem very good. Uh, I think I'm surprised it's only 1 point, but I guess on the road and Monday night game, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like Pete Carroll to go out there and shut down a sleepish offense early in the season. My last pick, I am going to turn to the Washington Commanders. Just sort of mentioned them.
You love them.
Talking about the Cardinals. I do like them a little bit more than I probably should. I think they have a good defense. I think Ron Rivera knows he's sort of coaching for his life. Sam Howell was terrible last week. They got absolutely smacked by Buffalo. Um, but I think they keep it competitive. They're getting 9 points on the road in Philly. Um, Philly's been, probably not played their best, and they're still 3-0. But I just think Washington, coming off a bad week, they're going to be a little more competitive, a little more dialed in. Eric Bieniemy is going to, talk to Sam Howell about those mistakes he was making last week. Hopefully, he doesn't make those same mistakes. They keep it tight, divisional game. I like the Commanders catching 9. Hopefully, they can go out there and compete.
Jack, I'm not gonna lie. This is one game I was strongly considering. I would say it was probably like my fourth pick. +9 divisional game, tough defense. They're a good defense. They really are.
Yeah.
I like that pick a lot.
And if memory serves me correct, I feel like the Commanders beat them
They
last
did.
year.
They did. That
Yeah,
was the game.
so
I think
we'll
the
see.
Eagles were undefeated or maybe like one loss. I think they were undefeated. And their first loss was like 12-0 was to the Commanders last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, they can give them another L.
Yeah, I mean 9 points in a divisional game with a good defense. That's a great pick. All right, just to recap the 6 picks of the week. My 3 picks: Seahawks -1 at New York Giants, Raiders +5 at the Chargers, and the over 46.5 in the Bears versus Broncos game. God, if the Bears can't score points against the Broncos, we're fucked. And then Jack's 3 picks are Houston +2.5 at home versus Pittsburgh, Jacksonville in London -3 versus Atlanta, and then the Commanders +9 at Philly. Maybe it's the week I bring back the parlay, and maybe we hit the parlay and watch that net worth grow, baby. But all right, this has been another edition of Best Bets of the NFL Weekend. This is week 4 of the 2023 season. Me and Big Jack going to try to get some positive weeks here, getting the records moving in the right direction. Big Jack, any last words for our fans out there?
No, just the usual, man. Like we always say, you got to stack those 2-1s and avoid the losers.
Hell yeah. All right. We will be back with a Bears preview video featuring my 3 keys of the week for a Bears victory. Till next time, like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with a best bets of week 5 NFL season. Jack.
Bears.